Quick disclaimer, if you care anything about your speakers, you might as well leave now, because things are about to get real loud. Roll the intro. Welcome to BeatsNBed, the home for bedroom producers, and today we got something that is near and dear to my heart, and it's no secret. Y'all saw the thumbnail. We're going to be talking about the Airsoft Clipper. It's been out for a little while, and I didn't want to just jump out there and give my 2 cents too early. I wanted to actually mess around with it and see if it was something that I could use, and honestly, it's proven to be nothing but fire. I've been using soft clippers for a couple years now, and to be honest with you, there's not one beat that I don't use a soft clipper on. Whether I'm putting it on my drum bus or my master channel, there's always a use case for it, and I'm very excited that Akai chose to bring it to the MPC. Shout out to my FL Studio users. We have been using the soft clipper for a long time. So when Akai announced the soft clipper, I was like, here, just take my money. You know what I mean? On top of that, it wasn't that expensive anyway. Now, is it perfect? Of course not. There's no auto gain, of course, and there's definitely some coloring going on to where it boosts the signal, and it just makes it kind of hard to rebalance it back to the original volume. But other than that, I have no problems with the soft clipper at all. It is extremely fire, and I use it on every single beat now. So for the real question, how would you use it? And the short answer is on every damn thing. I use it on my kicks, snares, drum tracks, the overall master channel. I use it on everything and in every way. And it's been a huge part of my overall sound. So enough of me talking. Let's go ahead and head over to the MPC software so I can show y'all how I use this thing. All right, guys. So here we are in the software. And I do want to apologize. I do not currently have an overhead rig, but that will be coming shortly. But I figured I could just show y'all how I use it inside the software. It's really not too different. Things are just in different areas, but it should be easy for you to figure it out. So I'm going to play this drum pattern that I created. And if you pay attention on the first track, you'll notice that the kick is clipping. It's like heavy in the red, right? I'm not going to play the audio because it's probably going to blow your speakers, and I don't want to do that to y'all, but just pay attention to the levels. All right, peep the kick, right? That joint is blaring. Now, I just want y'all to be aware that the kick that I chose for this literally came that way. So whoever designed it made it that way because it had a certain sound to it. And personally, I like it. So what I do to combat that is I throw a soft clipper on there. What it does is it captures the peak of that kick, but it doesn't give it a harsh sound. Now, if I put a limiter on this track, it would literally kill all the dynamics of that kick. But that's what I like about soft clippers, is it still keeps that punch and still gives it a tone that's just, I can't really explain it, but it seems to work for me. So let's go ahead and check out this drum pattern. So this is what the plugin will look similar to inside of the MPC. You'll have all these settings right here. You got the tan, sine, and parabolic. But to keep overall clarity, I normally use the sine. I don't really use this too much because it adds this high-end distortion that I really don't like, but sine and parabolic is where it's at for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the sound now, and I'm gonna show y'all what it sounds like. So as y'all can hear, it's punchy, it's clean, it doesn't sound overly distorted, and that's the beauty of soft clippers. Sometimes it just gives your drums that punch that you just can't get unless you're doing all this sidechain compression and all of that. This is definitely my quick way to beef up my sounds, and it's been working for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn the drive down so you can hear what it sounds like without any drive. Then we're gonna crank it up so you can start to hear the difference and the character that it adds when you start to boost the drive. So this is without it. Real dry, dull, boring, right? Let me crank up the drive so you can start to hear it. You hear that? Now we get this saturation that it's just adding color and just warmth to the kick. The snare is popping, and what it's also doing is it's bringing up the hi-hats. It's kind of balancing all the sounds together to almost glue them like you would using a compressor. But I just find that using a soft clipper, it just adds that aggression that you just can't get from other plugins. So that's how I would use it on my overall drum track. Now for individual sounds, I'm gonna go ahead and load up a kick and snare. So here's a kick I'm gonna be using. Just a basic vinyl kick, nothing special about it, right? So let me load the soft clipper on there. All right, so here we go. We got it with no drive on it, no nothing, just bare. But I did select the parabolic shape so I can show you guys how I use it on individual kicks and snares. So here we go. Here's the kick. Basic, dull, boring, right? Gonna crank the drive up. Now you're starting to hear something happen, right? Look at that. It's just adding this weight. It's almost like it's taking the high end and it's taking the low end and it's just gluing the overall sound to make it one cohesive piece, right? You literally went from this to this. And that joint is just smacking. It's like literally a completely different kick. So let's not stop there. Let's load up a snare. All right, so we got our snare. Here's what it sounds like. Nothing crazy, just pretty much just a vinyl snare with some reverb behind it. But we're gonna bring it to life. So now we have it dry once again with just a parabolic shape selected. And this is what it sounds like. So now I'm gonna start bringing up the drive so you can hear what that sounds like. There we go. That joint is hitting. And the cool thing about this is that it's literally capping it at 0 dB. So all you're getting is perceived loudness. It's not actually changing the volume. And that's another thing that I like about soft clippers. So if I really wanted to, I could bring this down to -6. Now, as you can see on the mixer channel, I'm at -6. And I got more room to crank it more if I want to. I'm gonna just crank this drive up. And there you go. It's currently sitting at -6, but to your ears, it seems a lot louder, and that's because of perceived loudness, right? So again, that's how I'll use it on my kicks and snares. Nothing special, nothing fancy, but I'm telling you, it just brings your shit to life. So now let me go ahead and load up an 808 so I can show you guys how we use it on that. All right, so I went ahead and loaded up one of my favorite 808s, and I just made a quick pattern for you, so I'm gonna let you hear it. This is as is, no soft flipper at all, right? I mean, that joint is already knocking, right? But watch what happens when I throw on the soft clipper with no drive whatsoever. This is just a parabolic shape, no drive. Check this out. And this is without dry, dead, lifeless. But this right here will cut through any single mix, any type of headphone there is. Listen to the aggression. Off. I mean, we can go a little bit more crazy if we want to. That's a little bit too much for my taste, but literally just throwing this thing on, no drive whatsoever, parabolic, you get that top end and it's just cutting through the mix. So I just want to piggyback on that. That's what I meant earlier when I meant that this is throwing some type of color out there before you even add any drive whatsoever. It's just literally boosting the volume up and doing some weirdness to it. But at the end of the day, I don't really care. That shit sounds amazing to me. So I'm not even complaining at all. So lastly, I'm gonna go ahead and load up a sequence that I created just to show you guys how I would throw it on the master channel so you can get an idea of how you can boost your overall sound and get a quick master without having to add any limiters or anything else, just a soft clipper. So for this one, I'm going to go with the sine shape, really because it's the cleanest out of all of them. It doesn't give you too much distortion, but it also gives you that volume that you want, right? So I'm going to go ahead and play the record as is, no drive whatsoever, all right? All right, so that's fire, right? But now what I'm gonna start doing is just cranking the drive up so you guys can see what it sounds like as you start to get some volume within the soft clipper. Here we go. Night and day difference. Literally, you didn't lose much. You literally just boosted the sound. I'm still at 0 dB, so it's not peaking or anything, but it just does something to that kick that I can't explain. It gives it like a saturated sound, but it just adds a little bit of weight to it, and it gives it this character. So I'm gonna play it again. I'm gonna turn it off and on so you can hear the difference. Now Some might not like that sound, but that's the sound that I like in my records. But yeah, man, this is self-explanatory. This is what the soft clipper does. It's very simple. It's a couple of knobs. I mean, honestly, I don't even use any of these. I don't use True Peak. I don't use anti-alias or the stereo link. I literally just tweak the drive knob and go through the different shapes depending on what type of sound I want to get. It's that simple. You don't got to overcomplicate it. You don't got to do nothing crazy. It's straightforward, and that's what I like about it. So yeah, guys, that's all I got for today. Hope you guys learned something, and hopefully I inspired you guys to go out and make something fire. If you guys have not already, please make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about the soft clipper. Would you buy it or would you pass on it? And if you would buy it, how would you use it? I'm really curious to know. So on that note, I'm signing out. This is BeatsNBed. Y'all take it easy.